Ho! Welcome back, haters. The boys are back with another episode of You Hate to See It, where we talk about all the shows you love and hate to see. I'm Kate, and as always, I'm here with the Magic Man, Mikey Dimes.
Mikey Dimes here for y'all.
I'm here with our chief hater, D Wild, aka our master of hate.
Yes, sir. What's good?
And we're here once again after a week off with the Citadel's own Archmaester Alex, aka Darth Hilius, aka Agar Martell, first of his name.
We in here. Praise Jeebus.
Praise him. And we got an extra special episode this week because we're talking about episode 5 of House of the Dragon. We Light the Way, an absolute banger of an episode.
It was. Yes, sir.
Colloquially known as the Green Wedding.
Colloquially known as the Green Motherfucking
The Green
Wedding. Level wedding episode. But first, before we dive deep into this motherfucking episode, a spoiler warning and a word from our sponsor. Hey, if you ain't seen this episode, get the fuck out of here. You know how it go, man. Come on, no. Come on. It's Thursday at this point. Come on. Get the fuck out.
You should be on your third rewatch at this point. So,
Literally.
Straight up.
Speaking of, getting the fuck out, let's get right into it, man. Rest in peace to the bronze bitch, Rhea Royce, man. We hardly knew you. We
really hardly knew her.
What do we think about opening the episode with, grand opening, grand closing?
I got a lot of thoughts on the bronze bitch Rhea Royce. First of all, Damon tripping.
Yeah, he tripping hard.
He's straight.
He was straight. David don't like chick unless they got white hair, man. He really don't like.
And 12 years old, but hey, she don't look bad. She seemed like a warrior. She knows her way around. I feel like she can handle herself when it comes to fighting. But how much do you think she got paid just to be in a show for 5 minutes max? That's crazy.
She got to speak, so her and Crab Feeder probably got the same badge.
Nah, she got more than Crab Feeder, bro. She probably got just as much screen time, isn't it?
She had to do a stunt. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Did she get paid more than the mom? Let's think about it, man. Now the mom ain't do no stunts.
She might have got the Emma Aaron bag.
Mom ain't do no stunts. Emma Aaron was sitting on a chair in a bed the whole time. Just saying.
It's probably a cool million just chilling.
One thing I wanted to say is I love how what's different about a lot of the first season of Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon. You remember the first season of Game of Thrones, whenever we went to a new city, in the bottom it would let us know where the fuck we're at. Like when we get to see what is it, Runestone?
Yeah, Runestone.
Yeah.
That castle. I'm like, oh, is that Dragonstone? No, that's not Dragonstone. Like I was going through all these castles in my head. Like I have no idea where this is. So I kind of wish that they would put at the bottom of the screen where we're at, what castle it is, just so I'm not guessing the whole time, But I guess we do have a little bit more information to go off of since it is the prequel show.
Yeah, I feel like they're doing that because, first of all, we probably won't be back in Runestone, so it's not a super important location. Really, the show has been so focused on King's Landing, we barely even left, and Game of Thrones was literally we was all over the place. Every scene was in a different corner of the fucking continent or whatever. So I just kind of feel like they're kind of sticking into this little playpen in King's Landing, as opposed to traveling the world like in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of new places, but we've only seen them from a short, for a small window and from a different angle. So it's kind of like even when we were in Storm's Inn, it took a lot of context clues to realize where we're at.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they straight up mention it in the dialogue though. When you see Sir Gerald and kind of just if you know what the colors are and who she is, you know they're in the Vale somewhere, and it did seem familiar to the Vale. But I thought just that scene, bringing her in, you've got her riding through the countryside solo. I got a lot of parallels to potentially what an older Rhaenyra would be like. Maybe if she just didn't have her duties as the queen, right? Like I feel like she would have been a lot like Rio Royce in terms of she would have just been like just kind of like a badass like lone wolf chick that just liked hunting and didn't really subscribe to the gender norms and just like kind of did her own shit. Like I don't know if y'all got those same vibes, but that's kind of what I felt like. If Rhaenyra wasn't forced to be on the throne, I felt like she would have been a lot like Rhea.
Yeah,
No,
that's a good point.
yeah. Rhaenyra reminds me a little bit of like her will though. Like reminds me of kind of Arya. Like if Arya had a dragon, but except for I still don't think Arya would ever. I think if Arya had a chance to be queen, I think she would probably pass that shit up and do her own thing.
Yeah.
She had a
Arya's
choice.
ain't going for
Yeah.
none of this shit.
I already don't want none of that shit. She said that from the jump. She was like, I don't give a fuck about none of this shit.
Like she really hopped on a boat to a different continent at like 10. That shit lit.
I learned how to kill
She did.
at the highest rate possible. At
My
high.
goats, my goats. Okay, but moving on. Like, do we think that Damon like pulled up to Runestone with the intention of like, I'm gonna kill my wife today? That's what we think.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of crazy because at first, when he first pulled up, I was like, wait, what's he about to do? Because up until the moment when the horse flips over, I really couldn't tell, like, is he here to fuck with her, or is he trying to like make amends? Because like he didn't say anything. He kind of had like a blank face, like a straight face on. You couldn't really had a little smirk at the end, but you couldn't really tell what was on his mind until the very end when he was like, oh, like you could see in her eyes, she was like, oh, nah, he's not here for pleasantries. Like, and very clearly,
flags with that scene. I think first of all, where the fuck was Caraxes? Two,
true.
Why is he by himself wearing a hood in the middle of a field? This is Daemon Targaryen. This ain't some Joe Schmo. That should have been all the notes you needed to know that he's about to do something shady. He didn't say a single word. Like,
nothing.
Like, why is he? Like, where's Caraxes? That's how you should know he's on some fuck shit.
Well, I mean, he's a master of disguises and shit. Like, so I mean, he can move like a thief in the night. Like he navigates King's Landing where he's super well known. Navigating the countryside of the Vale's got to be easier than that, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
how is he get to the Vale without his dragon? People gonna recognize Caraxes.
He probably parked far away.
Yeah. I mean, there's mountains in the Vale, man.
He put a little sheet over him, a little green sheet.
Yeah, just chill out there for a minute. I'll be back.
Leave it running.
I saw though in like the the end of the episode behind the scenes thing that they were saying when Ryan Condal read the part in Fire and Blood, that when he read the part like she fell off her horse and her head was smashed in, he like immediately thought, oh, Daemon killed this nigga.
Oh, so, yeah.
I think it's cool how they did portray it, because I really don't think he would have smashed her head in if she would just shut the fuck up. But
she had to get that last lick in.
Honestly, could have been like Mercy too, like because she was clearly paralyzed. Like that's why he kind of stepped on her arm. So he was like, "Oh man, this bitch going out sad, man. You know what? Like I wanted to do this anyway. Here we go."
I didn't know that. Oh, go ahead.
No, I just feel like that man is just like, I feel like he's impulsive, bro. Daemon, we talked about the whole show how Daemon has never really had any well thought out plans for anything at all. Like just grabs a dragon egg for no fucking reason, throws it back, claims Masaria's like pregnant with his child. Like he just does random shit just to do it. Like he's not really someone who thinks through things. So I think he's just impulsive. Like he just was like, trying to mess with her, trying to be intimidating. And as, she's, of course, naturally uneasy. She hasn't seen this man in years and he's looking all weird and stuff. She's looking around thinking he's got some ulterior motive. And then he seizes the opportunity, scares the horse, and sees that she's paralyzed and, sees it as like a win. And then when she insults him, he just goes for the kill. Because I mean, she's rich, bro. She could have lived like Bran or something and just lived out the chair. Like her life ain't no
wheelchair back then, man. That's a new invention.
That's a new invention.
I mean, she was pretty close to Runestone too. So I mean, someone probably would have found her like still alive. So
I mean, at that point though, Damon technically didn't do anything.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, he didn't.
You think she said that because she wanted him to kill her, like put her out of misery?
No, no, I don't think that. But I think, well, to touch on that, I didn't know Damon had. It's like known, or I think it might be known that he's like impudent, or like he has a problem with
It's
like.
known amongst his bitches.
Yeah, it's known
Like,
amongst his bitches
Yeah.
that he
like, I
can't
guess like
finish.
he tried to consummate the marriage because like we see her because he's like, oh, she's so ugly, man. He's just
Oh
insecure
yeah,
because like
Yeah.
she's not ugly, bro. Like you just couldn't, what I'm saying, you
he
couldn't
just
handle
Couldn't
projected.
get it up. That was
Yeah,
a
you
he
gotta
how you
problem.
put it
That's
mad.
in.
probably why he talks so much shit about her because like to make people not believe that he's impotent or whatever. So he says, "Oh, like she's just she just doesn't do it for me. She's
Yeah,
ugly."
bring
Like
her down, lift some stuff up.
all
But
that kind
no, I didn't. I don't think she said that just so he would. Just so he would. I just think that like she's like, fuck, I'm paralyzed. What the fuck else? Let me just talk my shit.
Yeah, I think it's just her personality, who she was. She was talking shit about that nigga from the on site. Like that, she was the definition of as soon as she saw him on site. She was like, "Husband, are you here to consummate the marriage? Finally, I see you got replaced by a little girl."
She
And
was
it was
cooking,
like, she was just talking. She was
Just
talking shit
spouting
immediately.
off.
like,
So,
bro, I got your life in my hands right now. Like, really relax. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
Yeah.
sure. So, rest in peace, Rhea Royce. You know what I'm
She
saying?
won.
Shout out to a bag chasing champion, to the actress who played her. That's the easy at least $500,000. So shout out to her.
Next.
The next scene, we get a rainy goodbye between Otto's bitch ass and Allison. But Otto, I'm not gonna lie, Otto was spitting some facts here, man.
He
Otto was
was.
spitting some facts. So
was
what do we
he?
think? What
Nah,
do
he
we
Yeah.
was
what do we think about this
Was
conversation
he?
here? Dante, go
Ooh,
ahead and give us
Because
your
I'm the
thoughts.
contrarian. Was he spitting facts or was he just planting seeds of doubt? I think Otto is one of them niggas who thinks like really shittily of him. Like Rhaenyra, I don't think would go to the point where like saying like, oh, she's gonna put your children to the sword. Like no, she wouldn't. No, she wouldn't.
Yeah,
She
she
doesn't
beat him
have
for
to.
him.
She literally does not have to kill them niggas. Like that is not necessary.
Low key
no,
Right?
but the
does.
thing is though, like she really would though, because like you said,
I don't
like
think she would,
as
bro.
as
I
long
don't think she
as
would. Like now in the show, she might, but that's because I think he made Allison think she would, and now Allison started moving different. If
Mm-hmm.
Allison hadn't started moving different, and because they were starting to build back their friendship, right? Like before that, I really thought they were like we saw last episode and everything. She was like trusting her, going for bat for her, like everything. I thought they were starting to build back that kind of friendship, and I didn't think Rhaenyra. I don't think Rhaenyra's got it in her to kill fucking kids, man. Like that really just wasn't. I think as people change and circumstances have changed, like sure it might be pushed to that point now, but I think before Otto planted those seeds of doubt, I don't think that was actually something that was going to happen, man.
He definitely chose his words carefully. He
Mm.
definitely did because he really told her. He's like, look, she'll have no choice but to put your kids to the sword. He doesn't say Rhaenyra would do this. He says like she wouldn't have a choice. Like that's the only option for her. So yeah, that's real. He's planting those
yeah,
seeds of doubt. And he,
Well,
oh, go
you're
ahead.
right. You're right, KP. He chose his words very wisely right there, because technically the only reason she would have to put her kids to the sword if y'all fucking did something. If y'all just played your position and let her
Yeah,
ascend the throne,
literally.
it'd be straight. But we all know that's not going to happen. So yeah, she has to just to make sure her claim is cemented. But I don't think if things were to play out all lovey dovey and peaches and cream, then yeah, I don't see Rhaenyra just killing Alicent's kids like that. But she's forced to because you're forcing her to do it. That's the
Exactly.
thing. So
but yeah,
he is
also the
game,
go
I
ahead.
think.
Yeah, also the thing is though, you still have to remember like the lords of Westeros too. Like you said, if Rhaenyra ascends the throne, this is a backwards ass community right now. Like no one's gonna want to assume like see like they know that Rhaenyra's the heir now, but they don't really. None of them really think that she's gonna be ascend to queen. Like a lot of them still think that Aegon is still gonna ascend to king, and like you said, once Rhaenyra becomes queen, war will follow because a lot of these people are not gonna back Rhaenyra, and they'd rather back a male Targaryen, someone like Aegon. And like we've seen this time and time again in the real world, and also like here in Westeros. Like it's gonna come down if Rhaenyra like it continues to play out and she becomes queen, war will follow because these backwards ass dudes are not gonna take a woman being their leader. Like
but also
they're not going to, and they're also like they're gonna be a bunch of them who are gonna make their claim for Aegon to be king, because we saw what happened like right at the very beginning of the series. They had the council, the Great Council of 101. Like Jaehaerys didn't have any kids, so he had to figure out which like. Then this was like a relatively peaceful council. Like this, like that shit doesn't happen. We see how volatile the Targaryens are, and how crazy, and how that they can flip a switch real quick. And just because Rhaenyra is not someone who may or may not go off their deep end and kill somebody, that don't mean that anyone who is siding with her won't be like, hey, you need to take care of. I know Allison's your girl, and she got kids, but you got to take care of her. So
yeah, I mean, just kind of think about it. Like, who would have Rhaenyra's back? You got the sea snake, 3 dragons.
That's it. Yeah, like I'm saying, she's got enough. Who's standing against that though?
You think Daemon won't kill a kid?
You think Daemon won't kill a kid? I think Daemon would rather have Rhaenyra be queen than fucking Aegon.
Exactly.
I was like, so that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is who's gonna have the firepower to really go against Rhaenyra? It's like, oh, they won't get in line, but like, what are they gonna like? Literally, that's a losing battle if you don't get enough dragons on your side. Like, you're fighting dragons. The only way to fight dragons is to have dragons of your own, right? So,
well, no, because Cersei and the Greyjoy fleet shot down.
Oh, brother!
They shot down one. No scope. No scope.
Let's not talk about
they about to sign the Night King to a 10-day contract.
That's what I'm saying. Let's not talk about the physics behind masting a ballista on top of a ship in the water and then shooting something out of the sky.
They did it 3 times in a row.
Like, come on now. Like,
I agree in a sense. Otto is definitely putting her on game because, I mean, he's the one starting all this shit. So he's
literally starting all this.
But he does make very valid points. Like, if there's any claim that's gonna, disrupt or dispute Rhaenyra's, she's gonna handle it because she wants to be queen.
Mm-hmm. Yep, straight like that. So the next scene, Allison and the Godswood chilling, and we get, first time in a minute since episode 3, we get Larry Strong doing his best Littlefinger impersonation here. He's laying it on thick right now. He's
but for real though, you could tell from the moment he started speaking, this dude was doing something sleazy. Yeah. Like, just the way, he was talking, the way his cadence was going, he is not on the up and up. Like, he's either snitching on somebody or trying to get some information out of you or trying to seed some doubt or all three. Like, dude is being sleazy as hell.
Nigga broke the ice talking about a plant. I was like, oh yeah, this nigga's sick, man. This nigga's so
good. How's the weather, man?
Hey, man. I first of all, this dude, I don't really fuck with this dude. Then again, I don't fuck with really anyone on the show, but I really don't fuck with this dude. But I'm glad to see House of the Dragon getting back to the roots, getting back to these sleazy, maniacal manipulators that made us really love the show. Like, I think we finally got. He's definitely the closest comparison that we have to someone from, the old small council.
Mm-hmm.
But Allison, you gotta know, man. Like, you gotta know. This dude is not what you think he is or what he seems. Or you should know, like, this dude is just plotting.
It reminded me of, because they were saying, oh, he was laying it on too thick, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, Allison is young, like, she doesn't really know the game. Like, she's kind of savvy, but like she don't really know when people are insinuating other shit. And it reminded me of like season one Game of Thrones when Ned is like Varys is literally like hand holding Ned to figure out the shit about Robert's bastard.
Facts.
He's like, oh yeah,
Literally.
Sir Hugh, man, he was really coming up in the world, and then he died, huh? How about that? And that was like, you know what
Huh.
I'm saying? So yeah, it just reminded me of that. You know, he's just trying to like ease her into. He's really
Facts.
manipulating her. So it's Laris is he's a fascinating character. Like in the books, like his whole thing is like I'm pretty sure the quote is like he's stumped like generations of historians because like they never know whose side he's on or like what his interests are. He's just like pure chaos. So I'm excited for him to get more involved.
Yeah,
I
I
can
mean what he
see.
said when you're not invited to speak, like you have to learn to observe. And I think that also plays to Allison really well because she's usually seen as someone who's sitting back and observing. And so he's kind of showing her the power that you can get from doing that and then like
Mhm.
strategically using that information.
Yeah, I can see how Allison can be manipulated. I feel like she's probably only talked to like five people in her life, or at least like five people in the last month. So like she was just happy someone come to say something to her. So I can. So are you saying you think that he's gonna try to like I guess raise her up or like trying to like put her on game to fact like all right, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to listen. This is how you need to move when it comes to the Game of Thrones.
I think he is positioning himself like close to her, so like she trusts him, but like the whole time, like he's like manipulating her.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
That's how I
Mm.
kind of feel like is
Yeah, I can
happening.
see that.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
makes sense. He's just trying to be close to power, like because and he picked an easy target because, like he says, Allison doesn't have any allies. Like the High Tower, the Auto just got kicked out, so it's literally just her in
Mhm.
a place full of nothing but Targaryens and now Lionel Strong and his family. And he's like, hey, you might need some help here in the Red Keep.
Mhm.
And so he's positioning himself as like a friendly ally, even though he really isn't all that friendly. And I think
It's
the actor did a really good job of like portraying that. You can see as he's like telling her about the tea, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so happy that it was nothing serious." Like the facial expressions
facts.
he's making
Fuck nigga, man.
over her shoulder, like right there. It's just like I'm like, damn, like that shit. He played that really well, and kind of how they show that in the camera.
Low key, House Strong is slowly becoming one of my favorite houses. It's just a shame that what's going to happen to him, but
Dang,
I like
chill.
him. I mean, everyone knows that everyone who holds Harrenhal dies.
Damn.
Fact. That's
Well,
true.
I'm just assuming any of the houses that aren't mentioned in Game of Thrones are probably losers. So, like if it was a new house, if it was a new house for this show, they probably didn't. Like they probably took
They
some
didn't make
heavy
it. They didn't
casualties.
make
Like
it.
you know.
That's a good point. That's a decent point. Oh man. All right, man. The tide is high, but I'm holding on.
I'm gonna
All right,
be.
I'm out, y'all.
All right, so we see. Speaking of how strong, we see the new hand and Viserys aboard the love boat. You know what I'm saying? They're headed to high tide. Viserys is looking horrible, throwing up.
Terrible.
Shit. It
Down
reminded me
bad.
of the saying the king shits and the hand wipes. It was like the king throws up and the hand gives him a hanky,
Gives
man.
him a hanky.
So, what do we think of the Corliss, Rhaenys, Viserys, Linus, the whole high tide thing? You know what I'm saying? The Hall of Nine, high tide. How do we feel about being back with our guy Sea Snake?
Um, I think that castle is one of the dopest castles we've seen
Hard.
in Westeros. That thing was yeah. I would love for
The causeway, bro. All right, so the causeway, like literally, it's called high tide because like that's literally when the tide is high. That's the only way you can get there. Like when it's low tide, like there's
or
obviously
Dragon
no
Deck.
wind there. But like when the water rises, there's literally just that causeway. So I thought that was really dope how they brought that shit to life. because in Game of Thrones, like the books describes the castles as like these crazy ass things, and really the only castle they made like true to how it's described in the books is like the Vale, because it's like
Mhm.
really on a mountain. But
Yeah,
No.
no, I thought it was cool, and the fact that he's got all of his artifacts in there from his voyages, the fact that he's got the giant mural on there. Like if you watch the making of that episode and the amount of detail that they put into building High Tide in the Hall of the Nine specifically, it just got me so excited for seeing like the Seasakes own spinoff. Like I really want to know all the backstory behind everything that had to go in, because that all the stuff in that castle was brand new. The big
John
ass driftwood
Boyega, come
throne.
on down.
John, is
Let's go.
is
Sign
that
up.
confirmed, or is that who you would like to see?
That's what I like to see.
Yeah, that's what I
Oh,
like to
I got
see.
you.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Yeah, they got to pick a younger actor for it. But I think it would be really cool to just get the backstory on kind of all those artifacts, everything they've got going. He's got like a half spiral staircase coming in, like. But I think one thing that like we really need to touch on is like the kind of power plays that he does
Oh yeah, he
to
holds the
Viserys.
stairs.
He
Yeah,
holds
he
the
Hey, I
did.
fuck
was
out
gonna
of
say,
Viserys.
Yeah, he
man.
did.
Didn't
Hey,
pull up to welcome him at the door. Like, come on,
I,
man.
I was gonna say, Corliss. I get you feel slighted, but that's still the king, homie. Like,
Fuck the king,
it's
nigga.
not damn respect. Like, you go, you. Hey, he definitely overextended. When he asked his wife, "Did I overextend myself?" Yes, nigga.
Yeah,
You,
you did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he
you were out
did.
of pocket the whole
That was
time.
a that was a
Uh,
power play, but yeah, he was.
in the matter of succession, will we stay with the cousins of Westeros and they'll have the Valyrian last name? I was
He
like,
had to ask.
nigga, no. What you mean?
Yeah, nigga, no, yeah.
No. I respect Viserys because he did say so. You expect the Targaryen dynasty to end just because my daughter's the heir? Like you do see
Mhm.
Princess Rainey. He's gonna give a little smirk, like, all right, he's an
Yeah, we
ally.
got a
He's a
progressive
Oh, don't
king.
talk to me
Yeah,
about feminism, nigga.
Hey man,
But
he was really trying. I think that's just more testing Viserys's weakness. Like he's like, how far can I really push this envelope, right? Like he's like, how much can I get this nigga to agree to if he's really like, how down bad is he? Is what he was
Hey,
he's
and
trying to
then
figure out.
whenever he left, Rhaenys was like, "Hey, man, this nigga weak as hell. Like he really came out here. Hey,
It's
shut up. Hey,
undignified.
I fuck with Lionel Strong, but Otto would have been like, nah, make this nigga come here.
Facts.
facts.
Otto
yeah,
would have
straight
said,
up.
or send that
Air.
nigga a raven or something.
That's
Yeah.
the
Right.
yeah, first of all, you go to his stronghold. That he doesn't even greet you, and then you pretty much beg for Laenor to marry Rhaenyra. That's
Mm.
a sad day for Targaryen history, man. That's
Yeah.
a real sad day.
Tough.
And he
But Corlys knows he has all the power because he knows some shit's about to go down. Even Rainey said, "You're putting our son in danger. You know, swords are going to come out if Rhaenyra is the heir." But he
Mm-hmm.
knows. But Viserys knows the only way that they can, quell any rebellion is if they have all the dragons and the biggest fleet in Westeros. So
No.
that's why
Yeah, I mean, he knows
he
he's the number one overall draft pick. He got the number one overall pick, and he's like,
Leverage.
"Nigga, you got to give me. You got, he's got leverage. He knows that he's the best free agent on the market. They gotta give Laenor a max deal in order to enlist it. So that nigga
yeah.
is asking for absolutely everything. He is a strong negotiator, man. I can't even fault him for that.
So what do we think about the Lenore and Rhaenyra match? I know Dante, you were a big advocate for it. So how are you feeling?
Look, man, I'm still Team Laenor. Regardless of him being a sword swallower through and through, as Olenna Tyrell would put it. I don't think that diminishes them as a match. If anything, like you said, that paved the way for them to have a very progressive open marriage. He seems like a good and supportive husband who would be like a good guy. So and there's still like everything is still true about them having dragons, being rich, and having the largest navy in the country. Like it makes sense from a political standpoint. And I mean, they can just enjoy their own sexual desires separate of each other.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds good. You know what I'm saying? It sounds good, but as we know in the Game of Thrones, man, like that shit gets messy, man. That shit gets
Never that
messy.
simple.
But my
Yeah.
question was like, when did y'all? Well, I guess all y'all niggas read the book, huh?
No,
So
I didn't
I
read
was
it,
like, oh, okay. I was like,
but
at
I
what
do.
point? Like, at what point did you realize that he was gay? Because like I remember the line when I realized it. When did y'all realize it?
Well, Dante, you know how hard me and KP were trying not to spoil this for you. When we said
That's what I realized. I figured y'all was texting about like, boy, he's gonna be. I was
yeah,
like, boy, the switch up. He was like, I know Dante was sick on his couch watching that shit. When I was like, hold up, it was the line that got it for me. He was like, when she was talking about roast duck and geese, I said, this shit's so
Hmm.
random. And then he said, it's not for lack. He said, it's not for lack of trying. I said, oh, this nigga's gay. I was like, oh. Like I
Yo,
said,
the
not for lack of try. Like that sounds like a very like somebody who's like finding their identity and like trying to run away from the fact of who they are and their sexual orientation. He was like, yeah, I tried. He's like, it just couldn't like that was when it clicked for me.
the line that took me out in that one was when Rhaenyra was like, "Yeah, I prefer duck to goose. Like I find goose a little too greasy." I was like, "Girl, like yo, like that was not subtle."
Freak talk, man. You know?
like, like okay,
that's the line, man. Lenore, I thought he was acting like a little bitch this whole scene, man. Like he was all out in the
Damn.
dumps. Like, man, listen, your queen is saying you can still go do your shit. You just gotta give her. We just gotta have at least one kid. Like,
I mean, he warmed up to it. He was like, okay, yeah, I'm rocking with it. You know what I'm saying?
like it's not like I'm gonna. I don't care what you do, man. I don't care what you do. Just make sure we do our duty to our kingdom and to our families. And even still, you got, man, I don't know, man. These people, this
yeah,
episode really made me hate a lot of people in the show, man.
His pride was a little hurt, right? Because I guess maybe he thought the secret was better kept, or he just didn't expect her to like bring it up or something. So I think maybe his pride was stinging a little bit because that's when he's talking to the Knight of Kisses, Joffrey Lonmouth, about it afterwards, and he's talking about like he was like, this is a best case scenario. What the fuck are you sad about?
yeah, for
And he's
real.
like,
Like
yeah, he was like, you're making jokes about it. Like I just think it was a little
So,
pride sting, but he warmed up to the idea.
I think so. What I don't understand is he was still the heir to High Tide. He would still have to marry a woman and have a kid. Like, what
Yeah.
is he knows his duty? See what makes me mad about these people. All right, what makes me mad about these
get on
people
it.
and is that they want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to have the titles and their riches and all this, but when you got to do what you got to do to keep all this, they don't want to do it. Nigga, if you want to be gay and marry a dude and not marry a woman, then renounce your titles and run away with them. Go do your high
Talk
tide.
that talk, nigga.
Like, hey, you can do
Damn.
whatever you want, but don't expect to be the king. You know what I mean?
He's like, you can't be doing all this shit and be rich. He's like,
Or at
you
least,
gotta pick one.
you can do it and be rich, but you're not gonna be there at high tide or
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's why y'all respect Arya, right? Arya was about it. She was like, "Fuck it, I'll be poor." She was like, "I ain't doing none of
Hey,
this shit. I ain't with it. I'll be poor, bro. I'll get it out in the mud."
hey, Mike, it's like on Love Island. Whenever somebody got a connection and they partner leave, hey, go with them if you really got that connection.
facts. You know, that's how you know. That's how you know it's real or not. Like, if because they always talking like, yeah, if you were voted off, I would leave with you. They get voted off. I still got a lot. My journey's not finished here yet.
Right. Oh shit! All right.
These
Speaking
people
of
really
getting voted
big.
off the island, Kristen Cole pulls
And
up
this
from
nigga,
Yo,
half
this dude
court.
shot from the Raptors.
He shot from outer space.
Yo,
I'm, hey, bro, I'm gonna have to come out here and apologize, bro, because hey, KP might need to too, because we was on here talking about how this nigga Kristen Cole fucks and this nigga Kristen Cole gets bitches, and
Mm.
I've never seen a more virgin move in my life.
y'all are looking real dumb
Then
after.
when this nigga, after one fuck, was like, "Run away with me, please. We can get married." I was
All
like,
right. See,
"Nigga," I was like,
here's the
"Keep that
thing.
shit." 3 stacks, nigga. Damn.
So Kristen Cole, he's more upset about him soiling his honor over nothing.
Oh, fucking brother.
Rather than
Yeah,
rather than
that's-
getting his heart broke, because he really starts like getting frantic, breaking down when he's like, literally, this cloak is all I had to my fucking name, and like it's soiled. He's like, shit, I thought if we got married, then maybe I could be like an honest man, but like he's fucked now. You know what I'm saying?
Sir,
nigga, don't no one know about it anyway. Like,
Yeah, she's like, she's literally saying, I won't tell nobody. Chill.
yeah, like chill. We have an arrangement. Like, be cool, man. Fuck.
That's when Rhaenyra should have ended it right there. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to handle this dude."
I mean, so maybe he's got that Ned Stark code of honor, man, because that shit would have been eating Jon Snow up too, man.
Man,
Yeah.
but Jon
John broke his vow and was Lord Commander of the Night's Watch after that, so it didn't eat John up that much. I'm telling you.
Hey, he was ready to run away with Daenerys.
What someone should have told Kristen Cole, like, man, Sir Kristen, take a seat. You aren't the first person to soil your white robe, and you damn sure won't be the last. Get a grip, man. God damn. They beat one time, and he's ready to run away to the house? Are you serious? Like, what is
you think none of these niggas hit the Silk Road every now and again on an off day, bro? On an off day? Come on, you think you ain't? Come on, man.
No.
I'm just saying, they probably paid pretty well. You don't think they got some coin to go?
Hey, that nigga Meryn Trent had them scoundrels out there. Man.
That nigga Meryn Trent was a fiend, bro. He was looking for kids, bro. Like
Lord Scoundrel is what that dude was. Like, for real. But like, here's the thing though. Like, I can understand. Like, clearly this dude was in love, so. He's out here. He's shooting his shot. I get it. Like if you feel you need to, you know, hey, take the shot. If you think you can make it, take it. But here's the thing, though. Like she said over and over about how she doesn't want to do this. She doesn't want to do this. She doesn't want to do this. Yada yada yada. If she really didn't want to do it, she would have bounced a long time ago. I know she's like at the time, 18, 19 at the time. But still, she's a Targaryen. If she really didn't want to do this and she was really about that life, she would have bounced a long time ago. Like, she said she didn't want to do it, but nah, she knows she about to be queen. She, like, deep down, she wants to be queen. Like, she's like Viserys. Like, Viserys will talk about how he didn't want to, like, he wanted to, you know, like, lead like a great army into battle and do all this and do all this and have songs written about him. But
hey, why didn't you pull up at the Stepstones then? He wasn't really about it.
Yeah,
he wasn't really about it.
Yeah. But like, yeah, you like not really about it, but when it comes down to it, she wants to be queen. Like she said, I am the crown, or I'm going to be. Like she wanted to be queen. Like you couldn't really like. I know he was in love and he was shooting a shot, but you couldn't really expect.
But I mean, when you you
can't really expect her to just give that up. Like, come on now.
Yeah, it's foolish timing. Like, you think she's gonna renounce her shit after she just agreed to get married to another nigga? Like, bruh, like you do that. Like, if you're gonna proposition her with that, maybe proposition her with that before she's engaged, nigga. Like, damn.
You know who would thrive in this role right now? You know who would be thriving in this role? It's fucking Dario Naharis.
Dario Naharis.
This fucking original Dario Naharis. Like that. Like even though new Dario, he was straight, but old Dario, this dude.
Old Dario. I miss old Dario.
Yeah, old like that dude. He'd be thriving in this. He'd be like, oh yeah, we got the arrangement. Bet. Like I don't give a like. You be queen and do what you got to do. I'm gonna be here in the chambers waiting for you. Like, you need me to, like, cool. Yeah, like, oh, you want me to be the head of the Gold Cloaks? Bet. I'll go kill some dudes for you. I don't give a fuck.
No, like, old Dario was too much. That nigga just looked like a porn star. That nigga was tripping. He's like, yes, I killed these niggas for you. I was like, nah, chill, get this nigga off my screen.
Dropped off 3 heads in her bathtub. Like, I was like, damn. Yeah, like it takes a. I guess it just takes a. It takes a nigga with lower morals or a stronger nigga. You know, depending on how you look at it, to be a side nigga.
A nigga like Dario or Braun, they would.
Braun,
they'd be in their pocket.
Dragon.
They play their role.
Yeah, like
Look,
I'm
man,
cool
you
with
gotta
this.
be you gotta be cool to be a side nigga. You can't be a lame side nigga. And that nigga Kristen Cole is a lame.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you were singing his praises. No, no.
I recanted when new evidence is presented.
I tell you
I
guys. I
get
try to tell you
opinions can
guys.
Oh
change.
man. All right, moving
Man,
on to Christian Cole part two. After he airballs from half court, this nigga he goes and Allison calls into her chambers and she's like, "Oh man, I need to ask you a couple questions." And before she can even say who's involved, Christian Cole shoots himself in the foot,
Like
snitches
still
on
does.
herself.
Goddamn.
So
no, man. This is an all time low of the
Yeah,
lowest episodes for any character in Game of Thrones, man. I don't
yeah.
care. How
An
how how
all-time
do you
low.
how do
Old
you
buddy went
She
over
what,
3 in this episode.
like lower than
over
Reek
3 in this
low?
episode with 3 Ks? That's what's
Backwards
crazy.
case, like looking bad.
Like
nobody ever went out sadder than Reek, dog. So chill.
That's what I was saying. That's why I just had to preface. I was like, all time low.
right.
At least he still has his penis, like like.
Reek, yeah, true.
Yeah,
But
yeah. He got done super dirty. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
it's just worse because the man snitched on himself.
Yeah.
And then it was like he was like, man, just shut the fuck up. Like, stop talking. Please. And then after all this, he was trying to oh my god, man. This dude obviously has emotion. He has issues controlling his emotions. That should have been a red flag. I don't know how Rainier didn't see this before. An issue controlling his emotions, and it's just a fucking train wreck. Like, how do you guys, and in what scenario is it okay to just snitching yourself like that? You're supposed to be Rainier's sworn protector, and you told all her secrets.
Hey, that's ugly.
Also Allison was stuttering the entire time. She was very clearly nervous about what she was saying. Let her finish her statement. Let her finish talking, because you don't know what she's about to say. You think she's talking about you, but again, like, this is the princess. Like, these are Targaryens. They be into some weird shit sometimes. Shut the fuck up. Let her talk, and then you'd find out, like, oh, she wouldn't talk about me. Okay, bet.
No, I'm glad you
he
brought
said-
that up about the Targaryens being into weird shit, because it's like Allison is like a very like by the book, rule follower, pious person. And apparently Christian Cole is too, he's very like honor bound or whatever. And then they're just sitting here in this room with like paintings of Targaryens fucking each other
I
and
saw that.
That shit was
Yeah,
crazy.
wow.
I was looking at those pictures. I was like,
like
what
these
the
niggas
fuck?
is crazy as shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like these motherfuckers have no fucking honor or shit like that. So Allison is like crushed. She's hurt. So does this, like, seeing how Allison reacts to being like lied to, like reacts to realizing she's being lied to, does that kind of impact how we think about her character at all, or no?
First of
I mean,
all, this is where I lost all my love for Allison at this point. Like, bitch, Rainier don't owe you shit. You were just fucking her dad. Like, why does she got to tell you this? Because first of all, Otto was getting the boot anyway, whether it was true or not what Rainier was doing. He was getting the boot anyway. It is not Rainier's fault that Otto got relieved of being the hand. So why is she acting all sorts of ways when less than a year ago or 2 years ago she was wearing her mom's dresses, canoodling with the king in private?
Yeah, I think it's one of those like misplaced kind of sense of self-righteousness, right?
Right.
She feels as though like, oh, I've done everything by the book. Meanwhile, you were like seducing her father, like as she's grieving and he's grieving the loss of her, like their mother and wife, like, and you were out there seducing him, and it's like you're over here mad because your dad left and you just wanted somebody to blame it on, and you're like, oh, if Rhaenyra didn't lie to me. Like, my defense, Rhaenyra didn't lie to you. Like, she I mean, she asked she asked if she fucked Daemon. She did not directly lie to her. She did not fuck Daemon. Like, that's my stance.
She said she was still a maiden.
Okay, that was a lie. That was a lie, but that was a little extra seasoning on the top just to drive the point home that she really didn't fuck Damon, which is true. Like, and as we're watching them, like I think it was so well shot. As we're watching it, like we don't even see Kristen Cole telling the truth about what happened on this story. We're watching Allison react to realizing that it's Kristen Cole is the one that fucked and not Damon. And one part that I thought maybe probably hurt her a little more is not just the fact that she lied to her and didn't, and about losing her virginity or whatever, but the fact that she didn't feel close enough to like share that information with her. I think that's what hurt. I think that's what hurt Allison more, not necessarily the lie, but the fact that
Her enough to want to go to war?
like this woman doesn't see me as like a friend anymore.
No.
I feel like girls get mad over that shit, bro. I feel like that would make sense. Like she was like, damn, you lost your virginity and ain't tell me. You ain't
Damn,
tell me.
Women fall out over wearing the same fit to the club. You know they gonna fall out over some shit like this.
Nigga ain't tell me. Come on, I thought we was besties. Like,
it was like, how like when your girl asks you, like they'll be like, "Oh, did you eat lunch with Jason today?" And you're like, "No," and then you just answer the question. That's it. And they get mad because you didn't tell them who you ate lunch with. It's like, I answered the question. Ask the question you want to know, not the question you want me to, or you think I'm going to answer. Ask the question you want to know. That's how I kind of compare that when they're like, "Did you fuck Damon?" But I feel like she was trying to like get more out of her, but it's like I didn't.
What else
did you do?
Nah, this makes no sense to me for why Allison should feel betrayed at all. Because if anything, it's just, I'm getting you back, bitch. Like, you became queen because you were canoodling with my dad. I mean, so what? I'm not a virgin anymore. Who gives a fuck? Why does this affect you?
She's a hater. She's literally just like a self-righteous hater. She reminds me of a chick, a conservative chick that be on Facebook, bruh. That I saw a post and it said,
conservatives.
I saw a post on Twitter and it was talking about like, oh, Allison is the chick that like gets married and has a kid like straight out of high school, like right out of high school, and everybody else goes to like college and has fun, and she has to like talk about how much fun being a mom is, and then like going out and having fun and living your life and having promiscuous sex isn't what you should be doing, when like the whole time that's what she actually wants to be doing, but her life is fucked, so she has to put up this facade like this shit is fine.
Hey, that's real though. That's a good analogy. But let's move this thing along. Viserys and Lionel have a conversation. We don't have to touch on the whole conversation because Viserys asked if he's a good king. We know the answer to that. No, nigga. Clearly no, nigga. But I just want to talk about how this man's health is doing. All right, so we see the Maester. We see Maester Mellows talking about some leeches. And then my nigga Black Maester Orwell is like, nah, man, I got these herbal poultices that we could put on him. He's like, nah,
yeah,
nigga.
I got that Zaza, bro. What you mean?
What's up, man? Y'all talk to me.
Nigga probably invented milk of the poppy. Nah, clearly Mellows is in cahoots with Otto. I mean, everyone knows the Citadel is in Old Town. I mean, why are we? If the leeches have made him better, why is his whole arm about to fall off?
Yeah, bro. Like I thought he had grayscale for a second. I was like, what is going on with his arm?
So the grayscale is like, so that's not actually. I think that's something like that might be
the ointment, isn't it?
That's the ointment. That's the politics right there. Like that's the stuff that he's putting on. That's supposed to be like trying to like. That's that cream. The policies. I had to Google what that was to understand it.
Yeah, well, you see it. It's like all up and down his entire arm. So you're like, his whole arm is fucked. Like this dude is literally falling apart.
So you think, Mike? You think that like he's literally in cahoots with Otto to like basically, essentially, like work to kill the king through malpractice, through medical malpractice?
I wouldn't say to kill him, but I think he's just not trying to make him better.
Yeah.
I was like, kill him through neglect.
Yeah, it's like we're just gonna keep
Yeah.
doing it. I know it's not gonna work. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't think my death one is not gonna come true. My death watch for Viserys is
That
not
boy's
gonna come
still
true by
kicking.
episode five.
He
But
heard you counting
but
them out.
that nigga is essentially dead. He passed out what, like twice? He passed out like 2 or 3 times this ep. Like, come on, that nigga he got nosebleeds. He got nosebleeds at the wedding. He passing out. I was like, right when he comes back from the trip, that nigga's vomiting. Like, that nigga can't even shake a hand. Like that nigga is essentially
Yeah,
dead.
this dude is like basically a
Hey,
zombie.
don't
Like
count.
No,
like he's like one of the zombies from like the movie Warm Bodies. Hey, y'all, you remember that movie? Oh,
yeah,
I've
it's
never
not a
seen
bad
it.
movie. It's not a bad movie.
it's really not a bad movie. But anyway, he's like a little like walking zombie. Like this dude is like every day another piece of him falls off, like slowly but surely. And then we saw in the preview for next episode, like this, bruh.
Well,
That nigga 80.
that's
Yo,
I'm
this
surprised he
this
lasted
dude look
that.
like he aged 100 years.
I'm surprised he's even alive in 10 years, man. Like
Yeah,
I
straight
thought
up.
he died this episode.
Like this man is literally the crypt keeper right now. Like, goddamn, he is.
Exactly, man, looking like fucking Joe Paterno on his last leg. Looking horrible.
Yeah, this man is very unwell, and I'm very shocked that he made it to this
Yeah,
far in the season. I'm very shocked.
I was definitely thinking he was like just the way he looked the entire episode. I'm like, he's not gonna make it. Like I was like, he's like Dante is right. He's gonna die this episode.
Yeah,
like, this is it.
I thought my pack watch was great.
Like
Like
I
I never,
was like, oh, he's out.
that shit felt like a Falcons game. You're up the whole time, and then the nigga somehow still lives. I was like, what? I was
Yeah,
like,
when he fell out at the
when I
end,
saw that, when he fell out at the end, I said, there it is. I said,
like,
we're
there it
good.
is.
I was
He's
like,
dead. He's
I
gone.
was just covered
Next time
the
on House of
spread.
Dragon.
I was like, literally just covered the spread. Like I thought my shit was good to go, and I watched the preview, and I'm like, nigga, what?
They wished him back with the Dragon Balls, man. That's some bullshit.
Yeah,
That's so
facts.
bad.
Like literally some bullshit.
So he's struggling through the whole wedding feast, which is the climax of the episode. Really, what all the people are talking about. So I just need the thoughts. Like I feel like this wedding feast was like some shit not rarely, but this is like when Game of Thrones is clicking on all cylinders. It's like shit like this wedding feast. You know, it's a big set piece. Everybody's walking around. It's kind of like the Cersei blowing up the set scene where it's just like a big set piece. You know, it's people moving here, people moving there. There's a bunch of chaos going around. You don't know what the fuck happens, and then boom, literally explosion.
Chaos.
Let's talk about how House Valerian walked into that throne room.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that was
that's
hard.
Yeah.
Black people showed up. All right, this is about to turn up.
Yes, sir.
I was like, this dude look hard. Like
The drum started going. Doors open.
Hey,
I was like,
maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me, but maybe I don't put the boyfriend or the groom like literally right in the middle of our family. Like, all right, chill, player. First of all, why is he here? First of all, why bring this nigga?
Why is he the one that's welcome? Yeah. Like, put that nigga in the back. That nigga is white, guys. Like, that nigga is white.
First of all, he's white. Second of all,
put that nigga in the back. He's clearly not a part of the family. Why does that nigga get to sit so close to the head table and everything? Yeah, I was like, yeah, literally put that nigga in the back. Like clearly that's, that was questionable at all. But another thing that we noticed is like the Hightowers once again got another slight coming. Like, as they're doing the entrances and they're doing the introductions, like, the Lannisters get to come up and chop it up with the king. Then Sir Gerald interjects and prevents, Hobart Hightower from, chopping it up with the king. And then the Velaryons come in and cut their thing short, and they got to rush to their seats because the Velaryons are
I didn't even pee.
They're the main of the show. So, yeah, it's just showing, like, even that entrance thing is showing, like, kind of the division that is to come and kind of the separation between the Hightowers and the Targaryens, right? And then we see it when, as he's giving his speech, we see Alicent walk in the brightest of green dresses.
Disrespectful.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm sorry, Big V, but you're going to have to start setting people on fire, man. Like, I'm tired of him getting disrespected. You don't even deserve it. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't even
Hey, my nigga Bobby B would have hit that. Stop this madness in the name of your king, and all that shit would have shut the fuck down.
everyone would have shut the fuck up, man.
Bring back Bobby B, man. Make
Yeah,
Westeros.
Bobby B. No, it's crazy
He's
because he
coming.
gets dunked on not once but twice in the same speech. Like right
Yeah.
before he's about to start the speech, Damon strolls in because he's like, "This nigga's pussy. He's not gonna do shit. Like, so I can come to the wedding.
Didn't
I'm
do
banished,
shit.
but I'm banished. I can come to the wedding." Literally pulls up a chair for that nigga and then openly welcomes him, and then essentially admits or doesn't really shy away from the accusation of the fact that he killed his own wife that happens later on in front of him. Like, it's crazy, like, how the shit, like, people don't respect Viserys. Like, this nigga is accusing the king's brother of murdering someone right in front of the king. Like, come on, like, he couldn't have been like, shut, nigga, we're at a wedding. Like, shut that shit down. We're not talking about that shit right now, bruh. Like, they really don't respect that nigga Viserys, bruh.
I did think.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I thought it was cool. Laris was talking to his brother. Is like, do you know what color the high tower shines or glows when they call their banners? And it's like, again, alluding to the fact that, all right, Allison's calling her banners, but what banners they got? Who are they calling?
I mean, they got the whole South. So
yeah,
they
got
got
the
they
whole
got the
South.
they got the Tyrells. They got,
Beacon of the South.
yeah, beacons of the South. They got the Tyrells. They got what's the Tarleys. You know, and that's about it. Those are only
Yeah, you
Southern
got the, you got
I
the.
remember. I don't remember any other ones.
No, they got. Yeah, go
As soon
ahead.
as soon as I smelled a whiff of rebellion, I'm sending Caraxes, Cyrax, Sea Smoke. I'm waiting right in the middle of Old Town saying, "What's up? Y'all trying to act right, or should I burn the sept down? Like, what you want?"
Hey, man. Hey. The odds will even up, you know, because she's got kids. The kids will have
No,
dragons, you know. So
No,
come
fact. It's
on.
gonna get a lot sadder, but still.
All right, so yeah, there's a lot of like different pairings, you know, in this wedding. You know, we see Rhaenyra get scooped up by Harwin for a little bit, then she's with
Yes,
Damon,
sir.
and then Damon is with Lena, and then Joffrey goes over to lock in with Cece, and that shit doesn't go so well. So what was your like either the best part of the wedding feast or like the best pairings, and like what were you expecting to happen versus what actually happened?
All right. So the thing that I took from this episode, and it really clicked for me, was when what's his face Joffrey and was talking with Kristen Cole, and he was talking about, oh yeah, like, you know, Laner's he's he's special to me, Rhaenyra's special to you. You know, let's keep them together. You know,
Let's
let's
lock our
protect them and
dubious.
whatnot.
Let's be faithful side niggas. You
And I
know,
was like,
let's
yeah,
lock
right.
in. Let's lock
And
in.
like
Inside.
when he was saying that, I was like, first I was like, yo, it just hit me. Every single fucking person in this court is messy as a bitch. Every single one of them. Like, there's secrets on top of secrets on top of secrets flying all over the place, and they just talking openly about all the shit that should not be talking openly about. I was like thinking, I was like, yo, why the fuck are you talking to this dude in front of everybody, loud as hell,
Mm.
like talking like what you're saying right now is like treasonous. Like, this is like calls for like to get your head put on a spike, bro. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, we're
Also,
gonna have
how
this
does he know
conversation.
the right person?
Call him over later.
Like, what if Kristen Cole wasn't her paramour? Like, how do you know that's him?
Hey, gay niggas be knowing, man.
Nigga was literally going off intuition alone. Nigga had zero evidence. That was crazy.
Hey, if you
He's
a gay
off the
nigga at
strength,
court, bro, you know how to read people, bro.
off the strength of the gut alone. Like, imagine the balls on him. Not only did he admit it to Laenor right before that, then he comes up to the nigga. Yeah, I know you did. Like, he admit, and Laenor had to tell that nigga to shut the fuck up. He was like, I found him. He's ripely cunt struck, and he's like, nigga, chill. He's like, we're right. Like,
we
he's
here,
like,
we in a party. Chill out, bro. What you doing?
Like, damn, he's one of them niggas that just be screaming shit in a party, like, and then has to double down on it and go approach the nigga and it's like, man, got his face caved in because of it, bro. But
He
like
didn't deserve
my
it.
craziest, I mean, yeah,
Nah,
that was
yeah,
crazy. I mean,
that was
it
OD.
was a it was a case of misplaced judgment. Like, we really need to put CC in some anger management problems. Like that nigga really needs a therapist. He clearly does not know how to process his emotions. Clearly, we saw, but by him, we saw at the start with Rhaenyra, with him begging her to marry him, then with Allison snitching on himself, and now a nigga says one little thing, one little harmless thing that really wasn't even that deep, but it's the fact that he's like so torn over this shit emotionally that he just fucking snaps from that.
All right, so here's like if I'm Kristen Cole, I'm like, first of all, how the fuck did this nigga know who the fuck I am? How the fuck does he know my deepest, darkest secret? Like, come on, bro. Like, don't walk up on me and talking about acting like you know me. You know my like the one thing in my life I'm most ashamed of. You trying to lock it in? Nigga, fuck you.
It was very uncouth of Joffrey. Like
Yeah,
Joffrey, it like he kind of like he fumbled his own bag. Like he kind of deserved to get like, and maybe not killed, but he deserved to get like a beating. Like that nigga was running his
Exactly.
mouth
Yeah.
the whole that nigga was running his mouth the whole wedding. Like that's clearly a child that has never been hit before growing up.
yeah, for real.
Like shut up, nigga. How many people gotta tell you to shut up before you shut up, bro?
As far as weddings go, though, the fact that this was the only death, I would say, well, I mean, Joffrey died, the only one died in the Purple Wedding, but I had thought I honestly didn't think anyone was gonna die this wedding because I was like, I mean, what could fucking happen at this wedding? I feel like it'd be like some major shit would go down, but like not like I thought like secrets would get exposed that would send the royal family in a tizzy or some shit. Um, but as far as weddings go, it was good. My favorite part though, I think, was the Damon and Rhaenyra little conversation. 'Cause I don't know what's up with them, man.
Spicy.
Like they are confusing. Like for real. I don't know if Rhaenyra wants Damon, wants Kristen Cole, wants hard, wants strong. Like who does she want? Or is she just a freak?
I think all right.
She's
So
saying,
my she's just a nigga slut shaming on the pod. Niggas,
I mean, hey, I mean, do what you do, but I mean, like, she out here, like, with, hey, again, she's the future queen. Let her live her life. If she want to be out here having fun, like we heard this a couple episodes. Like, if she was a man and doing the same shit Damon was doing down in Flea Bottom, like Lord, like they literally call him Lord Flea Bottom. Like, if she was out here doing the same shit, no one would say anything about it at all. They had no problems about it. But because she's a woman, up in North, no man's gonna want her because she's sullied now. Get the fuck out of here. Like, she can do whatever she want to do. And
nobody.
clearly, her and her betrothed, they literally had an arrangement in hand, ready to go. Like, we gonna be married,
don't
but
know
I got
that.
my nigga over here, you got your nigga over here, and then
Discretion is key. Discretion is key.
exactly,
These folks
Yeah,
have
exactly.
no sense of
the whole
discretion.
all the lords and ladies of Westeros. Though. That's like,
Yeah, like Viserys can literally. He was like, "I see you, and I know you see me." Like he's like, "I know you doing this. Like I know you see me seeing you. Like, come on, like, bro." He's like, Damon, like, really, you doing this right here, right now? He's just sick. Like that nigga.
Viserys was sick.
He's
yeah,
just
right.
getting dunked on again. I think Rhaenyra was just bluffing though. I think she's more just like kind of like negging Damon, like the same way she did at Dragonstone. She was like, "Nigga, you're not about this shit, bruh. Kill me right now if you want to be king. Kill me right now." She was like, "If you wanted to marry me, scoop me up right now. I ain't married yet. Scoop me up, take me to Dragonstone. Do it. Oh, you're not. All right, fuck out of my face then." Like I really think that's how I took the conversation
Yeah.
with Rhaenyra.
That's
Like,
all.
how did you
Oh, I
think
read
it came?
it.
That's how you read it too, yeah. Like it's just like
She just honing him like she tends to do, you know. Cause she know like she's the only one that gonna calm Damon like that, and Damon's fronting like he grabs her by the face like he really about to do shit. Like, but he ain't gonna do. Well, he might have done it if we ain't get interrupted by the ass whooping of the century.
For real.
Hey man, I'm gonna come clean. Kristen Cole, while we talking shit about all his emotional issues, nigga can fight.
You got
Nigga,
hands.
He can box.
nigga got hands. He fucked up Lanor immediately. Like Lanor tried to throw him off. He came, broke nose immediately. Like one punch, broke nose. And then they started throwing Lanor around. I was like, damn, the future king consort. Y'all just throwing him through, like throwing him over a table now and shit like it's WWE. Like,
The word is future.
nigga got hands. Like, hey, the matchup on but one thing I did notice before we like really move on to actually I'll save it. Actually, I'm gonna save it for the end because it's kind of like a prediction too.
Guess what, King? We at the end. So
We had the
Ask and you shall receive.
Facts,
so
man.
next episode we're gonna get a big time jump. 10 years. They already released like a couple little snippets of the episode that I watched with the older actors. Hey man, I can't wait for this shit. So let me get a prediction from everyone about events of the next episode, and give me your mid-season MVP. Mid-season MVP.
All right. Well, I set the stage with my prediction, so I'll come through with my prediction first. Like, so I feel like Rhaenyra's got a type, right? Like, I feel like she's got a type, and that scene at the end there with Sir Harwin coming in, fucking niggas up. Also, like he's fine. I want to see a. I hope we get a Sir Harwin versus like CC matchup. Like that shit would be tourney of the century right there. That shit would be tourney of the century right there. But I think she's got a type. Like I think all her children are Sir Harwins, bruh. I haven't read any of the books or anything, but I believe he fathered all her children just by the way in. Like if you watch the trailer or whatever, I think I saw him looking at the baby and just smiling a little too hard. And he beat somebody's ass. I think he was beating Aegon's ass real quick for like stepping to one of the kids. Like you need to chill the fuck out. So I think she's got a type. She like them strong, like knights. That's my prediction. My prediction is Sir Harwin is Rhaenyra's
the baby daddy.
Lover.
Spicy. That's real spicy, man. I like that.
That's my hot take. Hot off
Mike, what you got for me? Oh wait, no, Dante, give me your mid-season MVP.
Mid-season MVP. Well, it's not Damon. I was like, it's not Damon. I mean, Rhaenyra got married. I don't know. You know what? I'll just give it to fucking Lanor. Nigga lost his lover, like a little sleeper pick. Like nigga lost his lover, but he's still gonna be king consort. He's still rich, still flies a dragon. I was like, still rich, still flies a dragon. Got to count for something. I was like, so I mean, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Like Mike said, it's hard to pick like a winner because everybody's kind of fucked up in the situation. So I'm gonna pick the nigga that has the least amount of L's, if that works.
All right. Okay. Who's next?
You got it, Alex.
All right. My prediction. Let's see here. Well, things are going to continue to get messy because no one knows how to keep a fucking secret in Westeros. So it's going to keep getting messy. I think that one of these kids is gonna die. I don't know who, but one of these kids is gonna get done dirty.
Okay.
And it's that's gonna be like almost like the opening shot, the shot heard around the world that starts off this whole giant war that's on the way.
That's the Archduke Ferdinand of Westeros.
Yeah. Right. That's the Battle of Lexington and Concord right there. Like that's conquered, I should say. Like we're like it's about to, and also I'm gonna make Viserys does not make it to episode 7. He dies in this episode.
My death watch is
hard to kill, man. He hard to kill.
He is hard to kill.
He is hard to kill. But this dude,
sadly, like a cockroach.
This dude is over here looking like the damn Crypt Keeper from fucking the Twilight Zone. Like this, like from like he's done. I'm gonna say that's my prediction. He's done after this episode.
Who's your MVP?
And then, MVP. You know what? I'm gonna be a little controversial here. I'm gonna say my MVP, my midseason MVP is Allison Hightower,
Okay.
and
Okay. I'm
so
mad at that.
because check it, I think that she is going to be the bad guy in this story, quote unquote, but only because only because of the circumstances that she was put in previously. Only because of circumstances is because why she'll be a bad guy. And I think that like Otto brought it up earlier in the episode, like yeah, like if like you better either make sure that Aegon becomes king or you better hold on to Rhaenyra and hope for mercy because someone's gonna die, and I think she's about to she like took those words to heart, and she's not gonna let like she's still playing the Game of Thrones. She's not dumb enough to go out and try and you know what, let me just go out and just murder these people right away. Like she's still playing the game, and she's gonna figure out a way. It's like she's smart. She's not season. She's not Sansa of season 1 through 5. Stupid. She's
Mhm.
she knows she. I mean, she's like not smart, but I mean, not smart. She's not like privy to the game yet, but I mean, she's been in King's Landing for a while. She's picking shit up. She's got her, I guess, her master of whispers now in Laris. So like, she got someone feed her information.
She's got
Like
a team,
she's
man.
yeah, she's got
Yeah,
a like she got a
she's
team in West. They built a team in Westeros. She's got the homies back in at Hightower. Like they're ready to go. Like when she and then when she her interest when she came into the throne room, like that was the first time when I was like, yeah, that's the queen. Like this is the queen walking in right here. Like she
Yep.
came in looking
On.
like she came in looking like she had the power, and I mean she like literally like stopped everything, and everyone looked at her. I mean, hey, I right now I gotta give it to Allison.
All right. Well, my prediction for the next episode, I think we're going to kind of see a coming of age of young Aegon. We're going to obviously see him growing up, but I think we're going to start seeing him turn heads for the people of Westeros. Because obviously, Rhaenyra is still the heir, but I think he's gonna start showing why he should be heir. I can see him bonding with the dragon this episode, and just making waves in that sense. Along with that, I don't want to say it, but I can see the show ending with Big V's death, with Viserys' death. But I'm not going to put it past him for him to even make it to the end of the season. No, but uh, but yeah, it's just going to be. I think what we're going to see a strong episode from one of the little heirs, and we're going to see a bad episode from Rhaenyra because she just had. She's probably going to show her just having a kid, looking feeble and weak, and the court's going to see that and be like, "This is supposed to be our queen." So that's what I can see. I can see some waves, shaking up the boat that way. But for my mid-season MVP, I'm going to do a collective. I'm just going to say how strong as the mid-season MVP. I
Nice.
mean, Lionel Strong, Hand the
Mm-hmm.
King. We got Laura Strong, you got the ear of the Queen, and then we got Harwin Strong, Breakbones beating down the air. I mean, shit. I mean, that's a dub in all facets. They got every base covered.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You can't argue with that. You can't argue with that. All right. So my prediction is Mike said something a little bit about it earlier, but I predict we're gonna see a good dragon bonding or dragon claim. I don't know who is gonna be doing the claiming, but I think one of the kids will, either one of Rhaenyra's kids or one of Allison's kids. I think we're gonna see some drama between the kids as well. So I don't think just we all saw they look different. You know what I'm saying? Rhaenyra's kids don't look like Allison's kids. So I think there's gonna be some beef between them. My midseason MVP, I'm gonna go with big Borless, man, the sea snake. You know what I'm
Big
saying?
boy, team. I was like team. I mean, he won a war.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
got,
I
he
mean,
got
look,
his
he
got his
strong
son
armed the
married up
king.
to
He got
it.
the direct line to the Iron Throne, which is what he wanted. He's got half the realm's dragons right now. I
The
mean,
biggest
come
fleet.
on. He's got
Yeah,
Melis, and we haven't seen it yet. It was in the preview, but spoiler alert, he's got Vagar too, because Lena rides Vagar. So and
The
Vagar
largest dragon in the world. That
Vagar is
Vagar
worth
worth his
about
hat.
3 dragons, honestly. So
Facts.
look,
Facts. Like, and the crazy thing is, like, I want to amend my midseason MVP to
No,
I'll
too
just give
late.
it to the Valerian family, man. If we could do collectives, nigga, then I'll do it to the Valerian family.
they changed
I'm
the
just
rules.
saying. Yeah, I was like, you changed the rules a little bit because that nigga
You changed
is
your pick completely.
that nigga is an ultimate hedger. I'm saying he got one person with Rhaenyra, he got one person with Damon. Like that nigga is playing both sides of the field, right? Both of his heirs are like married off to where it could come back to Burnham where it's like you just got too many people split up in different spots. But I think that was a good, at least a hedge. He was like, hey, I'm a fuck with like the stable bet here, but I also got a little bit of crazy on my side with Damon as well.
Right. He is locked in with the right people. It seems. So yeah, we gonna see, man. This second half of the season is gonna be explosive to say the least. So I can't fucking wait, man. I can't fucking wait.
Can't
Any
wait.
final words, fellas?
Nope. We
No,
said
we
what we
good,
need to
man.
say.
Said what we
Fire
need
and
to
blood.
say.
All right. Hey, you heard prediction for the weather, fire, and a lot of motherfucking blood. So until next time, haters. It's your boy KP.
Mikey Dimes.
Wow.
Agor the first.
Until next time, keep on hating. Oh yeah, and go check out all the other stuff we do. Follow us on Twitter, man_gossip or man gossip one. It's one of those. Y'all know how to just look that shit up. Go support 93 and beyond. You know what I'm saying? Go read a hot D off the press. Just fuck with us. Fuck with us. So until next time, haters, we out.
Dracaris.